everyone, it's Beanie, and today I'm going to be talking about my favorite game right now, Elden Ring Nightreign. Now this game is so fun. Okay, I've been playing this game since day one with my friends, and some solo, which I'll talk about later in the video, but I just want to let you guys know that I've been absolutely addicted with 60 hours. I'm taking this week to just fall back a little bit, try to understand what I really like and don't like about the game. And yeah, it's gonna be my first YouTube video. I've never tried, well, I have in the past, but never really just for a hobby, I'm just want to try this out, just kind of just going off the top of my head. I'm not scripting anything, it's actually much harder to do this without a script for me. I don't know, but I'm just here to yap for a little bit, talk about what I like about the game, what I don't, and yeah, again, what I hope for the future. So without any further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so first thing is first, I want to talk about the gameplay of Nightreign. At its core, it is Elden Ring and Nightreign, so it is more than just Elden Ring, the classic Limgrave look, familiar bosses and enemies, mini bosses and enemies, but that's not really what makes it special, of course, because you'd just be playing this game. What I really like is the day and night cycle that they have. Some people I've heard don't like it for some reason. They say that you shouldn't be taking away the player's ability to explore, but I really don't think that would help. That would just make the game way too easy. What I like is that there's a time system and you have to prioritize what you want. Do you need to get a boss weakness? Do you want to do this mini boss on the way? Maybe it'll take a chunk out of your time. Do you need to prioritize getting smithing stones because your starting armament has a certain debuff for the boss? That's what I do a lot with Iron Eye. I try to upgrade my bow. So I prioritize different things. When I'm loading in and me and my friends first look at the map, we're looking at all the churches, how we're gonna loop to save time, where we can go. And I really like that. It's like strategy and it really makes you think and you're engaged with the game. And I really do enjoy that. And, speaking about the min-maxing and stuff for the day and night, like a pretty niche example is like whenever you're done with the night boss, typically me and my friends will go ahead and scout because we know that the layout of the map, because you get Limgrave so much without any shifting earth, that we know how to spot bosses. So like depending on where the tree is at the end of the night, we will just run in as soon as the boss is over. We just upgrade our level and we start running into the rain. Even though we take damage, we're there for the mini boss that's like right next to it. Usually there's a boss next to the tree normally, so we'll just start running because we know where it is. We want to save that time because you're under pressure. We want to optimize our runs, and I think that's really cool. But it also comes with the downside that I'll talk about later, but as for now, it's pretty cool. And so the next thing I want to talk about are the bosses. I think this is by far the highlight of the game. Obviously, this is what you're there for. At the very end of the 45-minute experience, you're ready and you're buffed up and you're going to battle. So I really do like the bosses. I think they're good for the most part. With the exception of Sentient Pest and Augur, I think those bosses are not fun at all. I mean, Augur is just a running experience, especially if you're playing melee. It is not very fun. And Sentient Pest is just overall not cool. Again, it's like also the running experience with the butterfly, the pest itself. Not very fun. But the rest of the bosses are really good, and I really think that it's enhanced by the fact when you're playing with your friends, you get to coordinate and you're going in for a crazy clutch. Like I had one time with the first time I beat Fisher in the Fog. It was so exhilarating. It was like crazy. The adrenaline was going insane because both my teammates were down and they were dead. Like I was not getting them up. I didn't have an ult. I was playing Wilder and they both had 3 ticks. I was not getting them up, not even with an ult. So I was going for it, and then it just, like, honestly, I felt like I was in a movie. I'm not gonna lie. I just decided, you know what, I'm going for this win because the boss wasn't too terribly low high in HP. So I just went in and I just locked in. I have a clip of it, and I was just locked in for that boss. I was I was shaking. I was missing my stuff. Like it was close. It was really close, and that is what I think the game is all about. Those types of moments right there, and you can do it with your friends, and it's awesome. And it feels like you're not just playing a video game. You are playing the video game, but honestly, it feels more than that. I don't know, but the bosses are really fun. I don't think they're unfair or anything. Some of them become a joke with their weakness. or with Shifting Earth. Like Fissure in the Fog actually becomes like such a joke whenever you get any of the mountain upgrades, and but that's pretty rare, which I'll talk about later with the Shifting Earth. But yeah, I think the bosses are really good. I enjoy them. That's what they were here for. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the bosses. Just kidding, I lied. That's because I want to talk about Hellster, or whatever his name, the Night Aspect. That is by far the best boss in the entire game, and I will stand on that. That boss is so cinematic. I mean, bro, he just domain expansions for second phase, and then when you get him low enough, he just floats in the sky and cuts the air open, and revealing like space and like the elements change. That guy is a whole tank. I love that boss. It's so fun to fight. I do not get tired of fighting that boss.
Kindly, Nicola cannot save you.
What is he doing? Oh, what is that? Oh my gosh! Oh! My top three are definitely Night Inspect, Dark Drift Knight, and Fissure in the Fog. Just because something I'll talk about now is the music. The music for this game is so good. It's so immersive. I think it's the best for the Fissure in the Fog, but that's just me. I had the digital soundtrack because I pre-ordered the game, for my birthday, and I just can't stop listening. It's so very good, especially the Fissure in the Fog. I don't think the Sentient Pest one is very good. It's like this whimsical medieval theme that doesn't really go with it. But other than that, these boss soundtracks are just amazing, but From Software is always good with their soundtracks, so obviously that's to be expected. But I just want to say that really adds to the immersion and the tension whenever you're playing the game and fighting these bosses. And yeah, I think it's really fun and really cool to listen to them and stuff like that. I don't know what to say anymore. Okay, so now I want to talk about a little bit about my experience playing solo player, with friends, and with randoms. So I actually like to play solo player more nowadays, just because something I'll talk about later, the communication and ultimately From Software dropping the ball on communication aspects of the game, but that's not important. Whenever I'm playing with randoms, I used to play basically solo Nightreign, but with two other people, and it's not very productive because again, you can't communicate. And I would do my own thing on Iron Eye. I would just go out and play solo because Iron Eye is not the hardest, so you can really optimize him pretty well, especially like poison on your starting armament, and if you get like two of the critical slash things, you can go crazy. So that's what I would do, but I often found most of the time that it's not very good to do, as I would end up being lower level than my teammates that would stick together, or I would just die, and that's embarrassing. You're this tough guy going out on your own, not sticking with the team, not obeying what the team has to agreed on, and if you die, that's just embarrassing, bro. I just want to leave the game after that, but I don't. So I often play by myself. It's a pretty good experience, and it's a nice challenge, especially the night bosses. But yeah, it's a good way to gain experience playing by yourself, and I just don't think it's worth playing with randoms. But playing with friends is super duper fun. I mean, you get crazy clips, and you have a great time because you get to communicate and stuff like I was talking about earlier. But yeah, not too much to say on the multiplayer because I'm sure you all know about that. So yeah. Okay, and now I want to talk about the story. I am someone who likes story in a game. It really keeps me going. It's not the main thing, of course. Gameplay. If it's not fun, I'm not gonna slave away just so I can understand the story. I'll just watch a video essay. But I found in recent times that I really like experiencing the story for myself, not just watching a video. So that's why I've been trying to take my time with this game and try to understand its story. And at first, I was really disappointed because I was like, bro, there's nothing here. But if you do your remembrances, it becomes a lot more clear that there is actual depth and substance to the Nightfarers and the story of the game, and that really put me ease my soul. I don't really know. I was originally gonna complain that there's nothing to do with the Nightfarers. Whenever you first play the game, they just say 2 lines of dialogue or something if you try to talk to them, and they don't really progress their dialogue after you defeat a Night Lord, except for the Duchess. Also, while we're talking about the Duchess, sometimes she just puts on the cloak for some reason, even after she's revealed herself. I find that really weird. She just takes it on and off. But that's besides the point. What I was saying was the freaking Nightreign people, the Nightfarers. Yeah, there's an actual story, and I've been trying to take my time and understand what's going on there. I find it really enjoyable to like write down in my notebook what I'm experiencing, think about what I'm experiencing. I think my favorite one so far is definitely the Executor. I think that one's pretty interesting. You know, with the whole three personalities thing with the freaking the Blade, him, the artist, and the Urtree Guardian or Urtree Guardian, Crucible Knight. I'm dumb, but yeah, the Crucible Knight. I think that's really fun, and I've been enjoying it. I don't know exactly the main story of the game so far. I mean, I don't know. I'll have to try to think about it harder, but yeah, that is something that I've been enjoying, and that's enough yapping about that. Okay, and the last thing is the Nightfarers themselves. I think that they are actually really, really cool. My favorite is Wilder. Just I don't know why he's so fun. The grapple is so simple yet so fun, and the follow-up attack is just so cool. I don't know, and it's also pretty good if you like trying to think about it optimally. I guess I don't know if it's optimal. I like to do this thing where I put frostbite on my blade on my starting armament, and then I apply frostbite, and then I put the fire on with the follow-up attack, and then I do frostbite again. Although it's not really good because, but I'm done yapping about that. But yeah, you can use it in different ways. His ult is really cool. I didn't know you could charge it too. Like that was pretty cool whenever I found that. You can charge it, does extra damage, or you can just use it. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't know why he's so fun, but he really is, and I enjoy playing Wilder. I also like playing Iron Eye. He's really fun, especially when you get the second critical dash thing that makes taking care of some enemies really cool and effective. I'll put a clip on screen. I just ran through these crumbling from Azula Beastmen. Just straight up obliterated them. It was really fun. But a lot of the Nightfarers are like, I was sleeping on something. Like I did not like Recluse. I didn't like Revenant. I pretty much didn't like anyone who wasn't Iron Eye, Executor, or Wilder for some reason until I started trying to play them myself. You know, for achievement maxing and the story. And I found them really enjoyable. I think they're all good except for the Guardian. That character is ass. I'm not gonna hold you. That boss is not boss, but character is just not it. I don't know. They gotta do something to fix him. And Hellbirds are not very fun to use. I don't know. But the Nightfarers are pretty good. I really do enjoy them. And yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna get to the cons. This section of the video, like I've actually like put some more thought into. I'm sorry that this is bad. I just kind of need to get a video out so that way I can start making them. I feel like if I just put something out, I'll be more inclined to make more stuff and put real effort into it. But yeah, that's besides the point. Okay, so my first complaint is about the shifting earth. You know, okay, so originally when I saw the trailer for this game, I was like, okay, the shifting earth is so cool. Like we're gonna get an entire biome. But what I thought is that it was shifting Earth, you know, like it's gonna change the entire map. Unfortunately, what we got in the game was much more underwhelming than what I thought was gonna happen. You know, it's really just a corner of the map that's always in the same spot, and the second circle always closes there. And if anything, I think shifting Earth really makes it more predictable, like more linear. Like it's supposed to add variety, which it does, but it also kind of sucks because you already know the circle is going to close there every single time on the second day. And for some of the shifting Earths, like Noxtella, it makes the gameplay even more linear because it can take a really long time to explore it, up to an entire second day, like for Noxtella or something. And if you really want to explore it, you have to go out of your way to possibly even leave behind major upgrades or bosses that could have dropped good upgrades for you if you just want to go explore that. And I think that kind of sucks, not gonna lie, because it kind of pigeonholes you into getting everything the first day and then just making a rush for it the second day. I don't know. I think it should be more the map than just a little fourth, because most of the time I find myself not even being able to explore it, and then I don't get it again. And what sucks even more is the fact that it's so incredibly rare. Like out of all of my time playing, like 60 hours, I think I've only gotten Shifting Earth like maybe 10% of the time, maybe 15. But it is so incredibly rare. I don't understand why we don't get the choice to pick Shifting Earth or at least turn it on randomize it. We don't have to have the specific choice. You know, that would make some boss fights easy, like Fish in the Fog, like I said earlier. But I don't understand why we're able to just turn it off. But then if we want to play it, we just gotta pray to Miyazaki and just hope that he gives us the Shifting Earth, because it is so incredibly rare that you're just not getting it a lot. I don't get it. I don't know if this is just me and my friends. We never get Shifting Earth, and it's just kind of boring running around Limveiled the same time, or like for the 400th time, and you know the route that you're gonna go. There's only so much variety, and Shifting Earth adds some of that, so I think that's good for our roguelike, you know, something that's supposed to be replayable a whole lot. You need variety, and you know, not having Shifting Earth is just something that kind of sucks. I don't know. So a fix to this would be just making it more common, or at least giving the player to have it on and turn it off at will, because I don't know, it's not very cool. As in its current state, I think it could be fine going forward. Okay, so second, I want to talk about the Merc. This was more of a personal thing. I don't feel like there's a lot to do with it. I mean, you can get your skins and stuff, which is pretty cool, and you get more skins after defeating the Night Aspect, which is also cool, and they're pretty cheap. But I don't think skins are gonna keep me coming back. That's like the only thing. Like, I don't know. You just need more stuff to do, because you can get the skins, and then you can buy out all the things from the shop guy. And then once you've done that, you can get the occasional gamble. But other than that, there's nothing to do with the Merc, and I think that's pretty disappointing. Like, in roguelikes like Hades and Hades 2, I actually am somewhat addicted. I was addicted to those games for the fact that you could do stuff. I mean, like, the games themselves are really good, but then, like, post-game, I actually invested in upgrading my little lobby area. So I think something like that in Nightreign with the Merc would be pretty cool. I mean, like, I know the aesthetic is supposed to, of the round table fits the game, this rugged, like, broken down place, but I think it could use some sprucing up, honestly. And I think that would keep me coming back a little bit just to see what I can do. And it gives because we already don't share a round table with other players, because different parts of the game, the round table looks different. So being able to customize your own, make it feel more like home, I don't know. I feel like that would be pretty cool. But that's just me. And then another thing I want to talk about is the stat buffs for your weapons. Okay, so the status elements are like actually pretty cool. And as of now, I really don't mind the stat buffs, like the successive attacks negate damage or whatever. I think those are pretty cool. But they're kind of bland, it's kind of just like basic stat upgrades. So if we could get something that's like really shakes up the gameplay, it could make runs. Really, what I'm saying is that the game needs more variety. You don't want every single run to be the same. So adding things that shake up the gameplay, like special effects and stuff, would be really cool. Because I know Elden Ring has cool stuff. So you could just, I don't know what the devs can cook. I'm not a video game developer, but I know I know something is boring when it's boring. So just shake it up a little bit. I don't know. And then what else? I'm talking about game optimization. I don't know if this is just me, but for PC players, let me know in the comments if you have any stuff. But day one, I got this game day one. I was so excited to play with my friends. It was still really fun, but the optimization was just terrible, man. Like, I have a 470 Ti, and I don't think there's any reason why I should be getting screen tearing and frame drops on a game that only caps at 60 FPS. I mean, even on low settings, I was tweaking this thing for a while. I was still getting frame drops, and thankfully I fixed the screen tearing, but the frame drops still persist. I've learned to live with it, but it's pretty bad, and it's immersion breaking. It kind of ruined my initial hype for the game whenever I got it day one. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope they optimize it better in the future. If anyone has any tips, please let me know in the description. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of annoying. But that pretty much wraps this up. I've been yapping here for a little bit too long. I don't know, this video is kind of shit. But yeah, I just need something to get the ball rolling. But I shouldn't have smacked the desk. I kind of spent a good amount of time criticizing the game, but that doesn't mean I don't like it. I really like this game, and I'm talking about it and the things that I don't like because I want it to be something that doesn't die. I mean, it had 3.5 million Nightfarers and within the first like week or so. So like, obviously people like this game. It's really popular. But it's up to From Software if they want to treat it like a real live service game. You know, if they just like do the DLC and stuff and barely update the game, it's gonna die. And I really don't want to see that. You know, I know it takes a lot, and From Software is not known for their online games. I think this is like really their first like multiplayer main game that they've made, and I think there's a good step in the right direction for From Software, really shaking it up. But they're gonna have to catch up a little bit with other live service like Overwatch and Marvel Rivals are two live service games that I've loved to play sometimes, and you know they're constantly updating their game, shaking things up. I know like Overwatch has added an entirely new way to play the game with Stadium. You don't need anything like that, but just updates to keep the game alive. You know, I know they said they were adding enhanced bosses and duos, and I think that's really good. That's a step in the right direction, but I still don't know how often they're gonna update the game, and if they don't update it enough, people are gonna stop playing. I'm gonna stop playing, and I don't want that to happen because I think Nightreign is a really cool game, and yeah, I want to keep playing it. But that's about it for this video. If you liked what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. I think I stole that from Muduhara right there. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, I'm not stealing that too. All right, I'm gonna go. Bye.